Hey guys, my name is Bonnie Adams and thank you for clicking on this video. I'm going to be talking about my health update, of course, dealing with hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease. Also, I'm going to be answering a few questions and responding to a lot of comments from my previous videos. So if you haven't checked those out yet, please click on those videos. I'm going to link them down below in the description. So first off, I want to say thank you to everyone that has been leaving comments and questions. Even though I have not regularly updated on this channel like I've wanted to, those comments and respond to them the best way I can has definitely been keeping me through dealing with this disorder, hearing your stories, answering your questions, and also getting more insight for myself. I do talk to a lot of people who have asked me questions about their health and gain an insight on how they're dealing with their Graves' disease and chronic conditions. So I'm going to first start off with a health update. Not to say not much has changed since my health update in May of 2020. In May of 2021, it has gotten a little bit better. I've had regular telehealth visits with my endocrinologist throughout the year, and she always runs more than just my TSH levels, my T4 and T3 levels. She tests antibodies and she tests the markers that tells her how far or how close I am to remission. Yeah, her prognosis at the moment is that by the end of the year she does want to get me very close, or at least into remission, because I'm still on the methimazole. I'm now taking a very minimal amount now. Hopefully we can get to a stage where I'm not taking any at all, or maybe I'm only taking like once a week, I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to trying to be medication free. And I've also done a lot of research as far as where it comes to medications as well, which I'll get into in another video. I've been doing so much research this past year, so I'm really excited to share that with you on this channel and anyone who is following my journey. Of course, I'm a female dealing with Graves' disease. As you know, when you look into statistics, there's a lot of females, more females that deal with this disorder, and it also deals with like your reproductive health and your feminine health and everything. So that's something that I've kind of kept a close eye on. As I said in my original video, you kind of do miss periods, and as a young woman dealing with irregular menstrual cycles, it isn't actually all that healthy. As convenient it is to not have a cycle, in long term it is not good. As of right now, I have got it under control. I am still dealing with my thyroid eye disease. I have noticed my vision as of late in the last 6 months or so has not been 2020. If you've watched another video on my channel, I did have LASIK eye surgery in 2013, right as I turned 21. So if you haven't watched that, definitely go give that a watch if you're considering that. But your vision is part of the symptoms of Graves' disease, particularly if you have developed thyroid eye disease or TED. I have got that in one of my eyes, and overall I've just noticed my vision has changed a lot, and that's something I'm keeping a close watch on. One thing I'm still dealing with is my back pain, and it is something that I'm trying to manage myself. I am a very athletic person, not as athletic as I once was. I am combating that with staying active. I have picked up my past love of roller skating, so if you guys want to see more on that, let me know. I love roller skating. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and roller skating throughout the summer last year brought me so much peace. Different fitness and strengthening stuff that I've done to not really work up my body too much, roller skating has been the perfect balance to keep me fit. And with the summer coming along, I'm just so excited to get back outside. So that is just a quick health update, and of course I will get more into it with upcoming videos. The ideas that I have for upcoming videos are like ways I'm handling my symptoms, advice for anyone that needs help navigating their doctor's visits, because that's very important. And that goes along with my idea of pushing how to become your own health advocate. I'm very passionate about that. I do a lot of it with my family members and my friends, and I definitely want to try find a way I can help grow your health advocacy for yourself and your loved ones. So there's going to be more on that, and also my journey with natural healing and fitness overall. So I'm going to start off with responding to a lot of the questions that stood out to me. Some of the questions from some of these people kind of encompass a lot of the other questions that have been asked by others. So if I don't mention your comment or your question specifically, it's because it's kind of been answered by some of the ones that I've picked out for this video. Cameron Cosmos: I have a cousin with hyperthyroidism. What are some things nutritional wise that have helped you regulate your thyroid, if any? Also, do you know of any natural plants or foods to help balance hyperthyroidism? I have managed a way that I intake gluten, dairy, sugar. Yeah, I have kind of decreased my intake on that. I'm not completely 100% free of these ingredients, but I have found a balance when it comes to getting those food through my body, because as I've said in my last video, it all starts with your gut, and if you can heal your gut or manage the way foods are processed through there nutritional wise, then I'm sure it will have a positive effect on dealing with your chronic condition. And I would also, when it comes to natural plants, I do drink a lot of teas. I do drink a lot of organic teas at that. I like walnuts. They do say if you eat foods and vegetables that look like the body part that you're trying to treat, then in turn it helps it. Not sure how true that is, but walnuts actually does look like a thyroid, and it's does have some health benefits when it comes to your thyroid health. So I do like to put that in a bit of a trail mix with some dried cranberries. Coolside Ramrod said, have you ever gotten a false negative from that test? Have you had any experience with it being unreliable? No, I haven't. I haven't heard much about getting false tests. I think when it comes to false tests, I would probably put that down to maybe if you do have elevated or if you do have irregular thyroid levels, it could be temporary, but not necessarily saying that you have Graves' disease. So I can understand how someone could possibly get a unreliable test or unreliable diagnosis at that. But so far, no, there are specific tests that show that I do have Graves' disease. I also have a family history of autoimmune conditions, so it's not a far-fetched diagnosis for me. Tara King says, I was diagnosed after my baby in November last year. I'm really battling some symptoms. I don't know if you experienced this, but I cry over every little thing. Tara King, oh my gosh, yes, I'm a very emotional person. I do take everything to heart naturally, but ever since dealing with Graves' disease, I'm more quickly to go through a little bit of emotional roller coaster or be in my feelings. Overall, much more emotional than normal. My family has told me this as well. Very passionate about things, or you know, things just pull my heartstrings a bit more than normal. But yes, it's very normal. You know, it does play with your emotions and your mental health a lot. So that is something that I've noticed. And Tara King, I just have to give you a shout out. You know, you've probably been the most engaged with my channel and these videos, and I appreciate the comments and all the advice that you've given, even though I have not responded to all of them. Thank you for being very locked in with the videos that I have produced and responding to other people's comments and concerns as well. It's like you've kind of been my right hand gal. It's kind of like you've been like, you know, my little mascot in all of this, dealing with talking with my journey publicly. So thank you for being all up in those comments with me and with other people. I really appreciate it. Ways that I kind of deal with my little emotional roller coasters is just kind of unplugging from social media sometimes. I'll listen to music and just lay on my bed flat. Not only does it help with like my back pain sometimes, but it kind of just helps me put my body on a level plane, if that makes sense. Oh, what am I talking about? But I don't know, I just feel a little bit more grounded. Listen to music or listen to a podcast for at least an hour or so, and it kind of just, you know, mellows me out a little bit. I drink water. Honestly, I'm not even gonna say more on that. Just drink more water. It helps a lot in everything, to be honest. Esther Lou, thank you for posting this. Is there an online support group? I was also diagnosed with Graves' disease last week. I mean, last year at this point, sorry. I also ended up in the ER and had symptoms before diagnosis. My friends in church have been a wonderful support. My doctors are great, thankfully. I just started Tapazole to try to balance my thyroid hormones. I'm still struggling with my health issues. My family has not been empathetic. I feel pretty upset over how my family is reacting to me. First of all, I'm sorry that you have not received the support that you need in dealing with this. Support for me has been major in dealing with my Graves' disease, and I mean, I have to owe it to my family and friends for being there as I've been going through everything. So I could only imagine with not having that support group there to kind of help you with your symptoms and managing your health. As far as support groups, yes, they are out there. There is one that I have joined on Facebook. I will post it on the screen here and link it below if you want to join it. It is run by major organizations that deal with Graves' disease. So yes, I will link that here. I do encourage you to go there, because in dealing with my Graves' disease from the very beginning, that forum has helped me kind of not feel alone in dealing with this condition. When I'm having symptoms or anything that I feel like I'm going through alone, like I'm a special case, I go on there, kind of scroll and browse a little bit, and I see there's someone that's dealing through the exact same thing or answering the question in my head that's popped up. So it's been a major help. So, you know, unfortunately, if you can't find the support group immediately around you, there are people out there that you can get to know and to kind of feed off of and find more information and get that support externally. RM says, hope you fired your doctor on the spot. Listen, best believe the doctors that I dealt with in the beginning, kicked to the curb. I go with my gut instinct. That's what I've been taught. And for me to continue to go to these doctors against my gut instinct, against what my spirit was telling me, would have likely led to death. I guarantee it. When I talk to other people about my experiences, they say, oh my god, that's a lawsuit, that's malpractice. My priority, my focus was to fix my health, fix my body, heal what is going on. Through making these videos, I hope to educate you guys on self-health advocacy. More on that on another video, but it's so important to follow your gut instinct and what the inner voice is telling you. If something does not sound right with what your provider or doctors are telling you, pay attention to it. Don't be afraid to seek another provider, to seek a different doctor, to seek another opinion on how to navigate your health. Never really just go on that first instinct if, you know, it doesn't feel right for you. So that's the best way I feel like I can combat the misadvice and mistreatment from those doctors. Yo-Yo, they say, I just feel so unsupported with this illness. Nobody understands. I feel trapped inside my own body. My heart feels so horrible at the moment. I just want it to stop. Again, I'm so sorry that you are going through those symptoms. I do remember a point where it was just so scary to have all these symptoms happening at the same time, especially in the beginning. In that first year that I was dealing with the disease, you know, with my heart issues, the losing weight, the anxiety, everything, it just felt like I was trapped. And I can see that's probably what you're feeling like right now, but give it some time. Thankfully, I was able to get out of a mental state where I just felt like I was just in eternal doom. I don't express this a lot, but there was times where I was thinking about, oh my god, I can die from this, or, you know, that sort of like very morbid feelings. But as you start to, and hopefully you start to get some relief of the symptoms and kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. All that you can do is to try keep in a good mental space. Do the best as you can when it comes to nutrition. Keeping yourself healthy as far as what you eat can make you feel a lot better, even if it doesn't directly impact your thyroid health. Staying energetic through the foods you eat, staying hydrated with water can almost immediately make you feel overall better. One thing I want to address are the many questions that I get about who my doctors are, what my blood results are, what they should do with their meds, etc, etc, etc. Disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. There's only so much that I can advise or help you with, and I would be doing a disservice to you by telling you all of these things. I will have other videos about how to like navigate your doctor's visits, or how to find doctors, how I was able to find the doctors that I do have that's leading me on a positive path to wellness and health and remission. But giving you the specifics about what my TSH levels are, what my T3 levels are, what my hormone levels are, all of that would not help you at all. I could only kind of give you markers about where my overall health is as it pertains to me, because if you're a male, for instance, asking me these questions, it may not help you, because everybody's going through a different journey. As I've mentioned before, there's reproductive and feminine health issues that I have to deal with. There's eye issues that I have to deal with. There's other issues that I have to deal with that affect my overall health, that in turn affect my thyroid health as well. Everything connects with each other, and me sort of providing that insight may not help. I could only kind of navigate you on how to find that yourself. So now I'm going to get to the comments and the stories that have popped out to me on my last few videos that I found very insightful and interesting to know, and I think that you can get a lot from them too. So from darbyknows, they say, I loved your vlog. Your editing was great and you presented the information very clearly and concisely. Thank you. I am a 27-year-old female who has been battling Graves for about 10 years. I have personally tried so much diet and lifestyle to see if I could correct my symptoms. And while I've made a lot of progress in some regards, I've never achieved any stability. I'm moving forward rather with radioactive iodine the beginning of February, if everything goes as planned. I highly recommend the Autoimmune Wellness podcast, as well as having a naturopath on your health team. These are my two biggest tips. Be kind to yourself and give it the time you need to fully explore and make peace with your options. It's difficult, but there is hope. Thank you so much, darbyknows. That does kind of give me a lot of peace knowing that there are people that have dealt with the condition for way longer than I have. As I've said before, like, I'm not opposed to having more invasive treatments such as Darby did with the iodine treatment, but I just don't want to rush to those treatments, especially because I am seeing progress. So hopefully I can get to that point. Heaven Macarthur. So glad I found this video. I'm 23 years old and was just diagnosed with Graves' disease as well about 2 weeks ago. It's about a year ago, sorry. And experienced a lot of the same things you did. Just started methimazole as of 2 weeks ago, wishing us both luck. Yes, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I'm wishing us both the best of luck. And I actually did leave a comment to Heaven just to document everything. That's honestly one of the best tips that I can provide in all of this, is to just document everything. Symptoms, your doctor's visits, how much medications you're taking, it all helps. And if you ever have to move from one doctor to the next, if they're interested, which they should be, you can take that information and kind of not start from square one. They can have an insight on what you've been doing, what you've been working on, what previous doctors have been working on, all in one notebook, or keep it in an Excel sheet, or handwrite it in your notes, wherever you need to keep everything in a safe spot. Document everything, how you're feeling, your mental health, how, you know, what you ate that day and how it may have changed you in a certain way. Keep a document of everything. From Mica Tee, You are me. That's all I've got to say. It's like I'm talking to myself. I'm African Caribbean and 6 months gone, still no proper info from the doctors. I'm researching how I can get well myself. 2 months in, they're talking surgery. I'm having none of it also. I can't get any answers. I've cut my hair off because it was disappearing by the second, and I've been up and down like a yo-yo in weight. It's great to listen to you. I'm 46 years young and I have concluded that I have to sort myself out. Yes, it is definitely a tough thing to manage, and you know, there has been many points where I thought I'm never going to reverse it. I'm convinced that I won't get back up in weight. I mean, my weight, another health update, I have come back to normal weight. What I initially thought was like, oh my god, I'm just going to be stick thin and losing weight and deteriorating forever. I can now sleep easy at night knowing that I can manage my weight a bit more easily. Sometimes I feel doomed even now. Like, there's so many things that are going on with my health where I'm just like, oh my god, I'm doomed, I'm never gonna get there. But I try to think back and I think about how far I've come and be like, how can I even think that? How can I even think I'm doomed right now, considering where I've come from just 2-3 years ago? From Nikole Ribeiro. I was diagnosed with Graves at 17. It was very bad in the beginning, but now my body has adapted almost 10 years later. I still have trouble keeping weight on and muscle loss, but the other pains have went away after my body got used to it. I'm waiting for a natural method. I do not take the pills, tapazole, because it was so toxic for liver and kidneys. Make sure you do take calcium pills though, because Graves can cause bone density loss and that can increase your muscle and back pain. That is something that I have looked into. You know, methimazole, tapazole is something that you have to watch carefully with your liver and your kidneys, and of course with that adversely affecting your bone density. That is something that my PCP and my endocrinologist watch very carefully, and thankfully for me, I have not gotten any signs of that being a problem. It's kind of what I said earlier, everybody deals with this condition differently. So as I won't promote on this channel, stop taking your meds or go this route or do this, because everybody's different. Do what works for you. Always be transparent with your doctor if your doctor allows for that. I'm thankful that I do have doctors on all fronts that are very transparent with me and also hear all my crazy questions all the time. I email them like, hey, could this cause this, or is doing this gonna cause this? That's the type of transparency that I appreciate from providers, and I'm lucky to have. So if you can, just, you know, don't just try to diagnose yourself. I did that at one point. I just figured, oh my god, I'm feeling good, I'm just gonna stop taking the medications, these doctors don't know what they're talking about, and then before you know it, I was in a spot where everything was getting worse. And I was very honest with my doctor and I told her this, and she was just like, listen, we've gotten this far, I need you not to be getting ahead of yourself. So not to say what you're doing is wrong, but those are kind of the things that could happen along the course of you just deciding to take medical decisions on your own. Just be very wary about how you navigate that. From Ashley, oh my gosh, girl, I'm sitting here listening to this because I'm currently waiting test results for hyperthyroidism, and you mentioned you're Grenadian. Yes, girl, from the Spice Isle. I'm Grenadian born and raised. So crazy and comforting to hear from a fellow island girl. It sounds crazy, but you made my day. I'm happy that I'm able to give you some insight on what's going on with me and kind of help you along that journey. I hope you're doing much better. I hope you are getting the results that you need to become healthy, and if you don't have Graves' disease, applause for you, girl, because I don't wish this on anyone, but if you do, just know that there is hope. Don't get down in the dumps about everything. Leyla Barretto, they say, dear one, thank you for this. I'm a Graves' disease survivor, from near storm patient to radical remission. They said impossible or 3 years. I refused radiation and did natural and western together. I'm in remission now. I went through hell. Who could understand how hard it was? I'm so glad you made the channel. Blessings to you. How are you doing now? So my camera battery just died as we were getting to the finish line, but I just wanted to finish off with that comment and say it just was inspiring, and I think it will be inspiring for a lot of people just with that comment alone to know that they can follow a natural route. They can follow Western medicine and still get to a point of remission and healing their bodies. It's something that I'm doing, and I'm sure a lot of people that's following my journey is trying to do as well. So it was very insightful to hear from someone and say that they made it. Thank you so much if you got to the end of this video. It was pretty lengthy. It's quite the update, quite the sharing with the comments and videos. And again, I thank you guys so much for leaving those comments. You know, you do get through some periods where you're watching so many videos on YouTube, just anything in general, not just health, just anything, and you watch all these things and you feel a certain way, but you don't leave a comment. So to leave a comment on a video takes a lot. It's putting yourself out there a little bit, and for you guys to leave the comments that you have, it's done a world of good for me, and I know it's done a world of good for anyone else that are reading them as well. So thank you so much for doing that. Like this video if you like what you saw. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, as well as upcoming videos that I have where it comes to health advocacy. In all of this, that has been the major thing that I've learned in my journey. I feel like it can help anyone with any condition. So I do feel like I'm a bit on a health advocacy mission. So important right now, more than ever, considering we're dealing with the pandemic. It's so important to know what's going on in the world and what's going on with your body, your own body. Also follow me on my social media. I'm only going to give you my Instagram at this point because that's where I'm most active. So follow me at It's Bonnie Adams on Instagram. Be sure to link me on there. I do get a lot of messages from you guys that are viewing my videos on my Graves' disease as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. I do respond back. Although it's not instant, I do respond back to all your messages and all your specific questions. For the forums, I've linked everything below. I do encourage you guys to join that forum. If not, join other Graves' disease and also in any autoimmune condition that you're dealing with. Search through Facebook. That's the only reason why I go to Facebook these days, is to see what's going on in the health forums and the groups that I've joined. So hasta la vista. Is that what does that mean? Oh gosh. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.